Alright, so got all the stuff all cleaned up on the carburetor. Oh, hold on. Here you can see it's a lot cleaner now. So cool. And so this carburetor here requires a Zama, an RB39 kit. So it comes with just the whole hardware, the needle, the lever, the pin, spring, Welsh plug, and the gaskets and diaphragms. A lot of times you could just get away with just buying the kit that would have just the gaskets and diaphragms, and they're a lot cheaper too. Okay, so I guess without further ado, we'll get this carburetor put back together. Okay, so first I'm gonna start with the metering part of the carburetor. I can try to do all of this. So we got our new metering lever, the new pin. Let's see, I need to get the needle on it. Before I forget, I'll stick our spring in, and I'll get back with y'all once I get all this put together. Just once you get it all together, then just tighten up this screw just to help hold it all in. And this is how you actually want it to all be put in. Kind of just move this a little bit. And also, being that the tongue here is flush on the body of the carburetor, and that's what you want. Next we'll insert our gasket, which it goes in just like that. And then our diaphragm. And just make sure you just line up the gasket and diaphragms on the holes. And now we'll just stick the cover on just like that, and then I'll get the screws and then tighten them up, and then tighten up the screws evenly. So snug one screw and then just snug the other, and then you can just start doing all the tightening, just so that way that it'll all go on nice and evenly to prevent any fuel leaks or air leaks. And don't over tighten them because you can easily strip the threads. Okay, so this side's all done. Now for the pump side. Okay, so first we'll need to take our new filter screen here, insert it into its little hole there, and then just grab a 1/4 inch drill bit and just push it in its little hole. Oops. Hang on a second. Alright, so I got it in there. So just push the drill bit just gently all the way in there and evenly. And that's how you want it in there. Okay, so on this piece, put the gasket on first, so it just goes on one way. So just like that. And then our diaphragm. So the kit came with 2 pump diaphragms. They're all the same size. One is actually rubber. This one here, however, it's a plastic. I like the plastic ones because they seem to me they seem to last a lot longer than the rubber ones. Okay. So let me just grab the carburetor here and then just put all this in. Sometimes you may want to depress the throttle a little bit just to make it easier for all this to go in. Alright, there we go. And so now I'll just tighten up that one screw. And so for this screw, you could use either a Phillips screwdriver or a flathead, which I happen to be using a flathead here. So make sure it's all nice and snug, and again, just don't over tighten it, because again, it needs to be fairly tight so that way there will not be no air leaks. Okay, so this carburetor has been rebuilt, so now we'll install it on the chainsaw and let's see if it'll run. Okay, so the carburetor has to be pointed toward this direction here, because of with the choke kind of facing toward this way. And also make sure you don't lose that gasket there for the carburetor. So you just line up the holes on there just like that. Since you kind of have it all like this before putting everything else on, just get your fuel lines connected. Alright, so I got the fuel lines all connected here, so now we'll need to reconnect our throttle. So just get it connected onto that hole. Well, if I can try to, hang on a second. Alright, so once you got the fuel lines and throttle all hooked up, kind of want to hold on the carburetor and then just get this all reinserted in. And we'll just kind of tighten up the screws just to get them started a little bit. Okay. And also make sure you tighten these up evenly too, just so it all goes on nice and evenly, just to prevent any air leaks, or otherwise your chainsaw won't run right. And don't forget to put this top cover on. And also, we'll put our new air filter in. So just push it right in there as far as it'll go. And finally, we'll install our choke lever. So it just goes on just like that. And then the air cleaner cover. Okay, just make sure they're nice and snug. Also move the choke back and forth to make sure it's working, and which in this case it is. Alright, so it's all put back together. I'll put some gas in it and put some bar and chain oil in it, and let's see what this thing will do. And here's the fuel that I'm using here, VP small engine fuel, pre-mixed, 40-to-1, because this saw here requires a 40-to-1 gas oil mix. Just whereas to all of my equipment require 50-to-1 and 32-to-1. I think that should be enough. Alright. So I got it all gassed up and oiled up, so let's give her a whirl. Okay, all the way out is choke. Okay, so she's turned on. I'll just give it some primes. Alright, make sure the chain brake is on. I'll set the throttle advance. Alright, let's see what she'll do. I think she might have fired, I don't know. We'll try a half choke. Huh. I don't get it. Why won't she go? Huh. I'm pretty sure she's turned on. Okay, so it's a few days later, and as you can see that it's been raining. So I tried pulling on this thing some more and I couldn't get it to fire. So just now I turned in the L screw all the way and then I backed it out about a turn and a half, and then now it fired right on the second pull, and now it seems to run really good. Oops. She likes to dance around a little bit. So I got it on this cardboard here because it's got it's leaking bar and chain oil through the oil cap, because the cap doesn't quite seal that well, because it'll start to leak just once you would fill up the oil tank about halfway, especially like when you completely fill it. It just leaks like crazy though. And so yeah, so this thing actually seems to run perfect. Now I don't know exactly how many cc's it is. It doesn't even say anywhere. I've seen some other McCulloch chainsaws on YouTube that look kind of similar to this, and they have either 32 cc's or 35. I'm assuming that this saw here probably has a 32 cc engine, and since it has a 14-inch bar, I believe you could possibly fit a 16-inch bar on this saw if you would want. And so yeah, so pretty cool. And of course she stalled on me, but that's alright. And as you can see, she actually cut pretty good. That's a brand new chain, by the way. So cool. So again, this is my grandfather's older chainsaw. It's a McCulloch Beaver model 2014 2.0 CI. And I believe it has a 32 cc engine. It's got a 14-inch bar. And if I can remember, I think my grandfather bought this saw either 1995 or 1996. Probably one of those years, at least in the mid-90s. And I think he might have bought this at, I would guess, Kmart, back when we used to have Kmarts over here in the area. So cool. So again, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. So thanks for watching.